They might have an in-house UPS.
They may have an envelope. Ask Julie, say, do you have a UPS envelope? Otherwise, I don't have any. Julie's the one at the front desk. She's very, very nice. Apparently he said he's going to be in sometime around like 11-ish. I mean, you can sit down and try to work through it. I'm going to get on this call. It's about the system. I don't know. Joe Cipollini's doing it. I'm going to get on for it.
Well,
Okay, that's fine. Mark, which photo is it that you want? Mark, which photo is it that you want? It's purple, not the. Okay, so it's the old one. No, we need some new ones. Yes, I know we need some new ones. I just have to, again, I gotta get signs first. I gotta get the names changed first. Some other stuff is a bit more important at this time, so that's what I'm working on.
What I'm doing is, if I get someone who would like to buy, I have them as referral.
Yeah.
For Bob or for a newer agent that I trust will get the job done.
That's a great one.
But I'd sooner have it for Bob because none of the two is hurt.
Yeah. It's good.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. That's how teams are born.
In that way, I'm just enjoying my life.
That's good. That's this.
Okay,
Awesome.
Tony, I'll see you then Tuesday.
I just sent you an invite, just
Super.
me here. Oh,
Thanks.
done.
I'll look at it as soon as I finish these comps.
Oh, yeah, get that done, get the money. Close business, then
Got
some
it.
business to close.
How about those? Did they win last night?
No,
The score was 4-3 on it.
no, they lost.
Did they?
Yep. Yep. We have too many guys on base. Yeah,
Good crowd online.
Good morning.
We do well.
yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. So we
Good
got,
morning, sir.
yes, good to see you guys. We have some folks online, a couple of people live and in person. There's folks that we're lurking around the building. I'll use to see if they come on in. You are, you're gonna make money, hopefully.
Yeah.
This conversation is super practical, and my goal here is to sort of maybe sharpen the way that you think about people in your sphere of influence. Is that fair? Right? It's like you can generally bucket the entire world into two things. Okay? Think about it this way. You can generally bucket the entire world into two things. The entire world falls into either people you've already met or people that you've never met before. Morning. Does that make sense? It's either the entire world is made up of two things, either people you've already met or people that you've never met before. Here's a really stark question to ask yourself right away. The bucket of people that you have met, if you did business with 10% of that bucket, is that enough business for you to make the living you want to live?
Saying a year or?
10%.
Hmm.
And you ask about a year, and there's a good question there. It's what is the NAR statistic on what percent of people either move or know somebody who's going to move in a given year? It used to be 1 out of 7. It's now 1 out of 10.
That's good.
Wow.
Better.
So it's actually going the wrong direction, but
Mhm.
still 1 out of 10 ain't bad, right? So if 1 out of 10 people will either move or know somebody directly who will move, then if you stay in relationship with the people that are in your have met bucket to a point where you are the only name that they think of when that topic comes up, your business is good. Now you see what I mean? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what your database is made up of. We're going to talk about how to communicate with it, what to say, what pace to say it. That's going to be what we're going to dig into here for today's topic. Awesome. So, question for you guys to sort of kick this off. What is one result? And anybody who's online who wants to turn their camera on, that would be awesome for me because while I love that there's 10 people or whatever it is, I would love to be able to see your smiling faces. So the question is, what is one result you'd like to get from your database in the next 90 days? What is one result you'd like to get from your database in the next 90 days?
More business.
More business. What else?
Whether it be, more listings or just more buyers or even referrals.
Just keep the relationship stronger.
The relationship stronger. How would you do that?
Keeping in touch with them, keeping in touch with them more than just real estate. Just happy birthday. Hey, I see
Yeah.
whatever school the kids go to. Hey, I just see they just won I saw that, they did good in the football game or something Friday night or,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it's interesting because like we have this thought of like we're gonna stay in relationship because our goal is to eventually get business. But in order to be in the position with the relationship where we are unforgettable to our database, we actually have to care about the other things. If the only thing we care about is real estate, it's a very one-dimensional relationship. But if you care about the kids, the football game, life, right? Then you have what is called mind share. And what always precedes market share is mind share. So mind share means you're the name that they think of when the business conversation comes up. Remember, 1 out of every 10 people will either move or know somebody who's going to move. The conversations of real estate are going to come up. They're going to come up at the summer picnics. They're going to come up at the Labor Day grill. They're going to come up at the holidays. And 2 possibilities. 1, that conversation just passes by. That's Julie. Thank you. That conversation either passes right on by and your name never gets brought up, or your name gets brought right into the mix of it, and it's like, oh my God, you're thinking of making a move. The only person I would call in this area is Jill or Bob, right? Or Brock. That's the only, hey, they're my go-to. And let me ask you, let me put it in a different way. Who's had work done on their house recently?
Oh,
Yeah, always. Who's had work done on their house that they didn't do?
Always.
Yeah, I'm like, I know my limitations. I'm like, cut down a tree yesterday. It's about the limitations I have with myself in my house. I don't trust myself to fix it. I can tear it down though, for sure. So you had work done at your house that you didn't do.
Yeah, I had some quotes done. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the people that you were going to get quotes from?
These were people that I've had work done. They've worked for me before.
Okay,
They've
so
done.
so you were in their have-nots. You had relationship with them. What made you feel that they earned the right to get a call back from you for the next round?
I liked the work they did before.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I was comfortable with them. Yeah.
so think about that, right? Like, we do a good job. And then the problem is that our life cycle is very long. You're more likely to need something done for your house before you're likely to want to move, right? So the life cycle for home improvement is faster than the life cycle for moving. So you have to work a little bit harder to keep yourself in their mind share for that period of time to be positioned. And that's why we can't sleep on these calls, these touches, the relationships that we have. So here's my challenge. So the first question at the top of the worksheet, there is a worksheet that's here at the office. If anybody wants a copy, maybe Julie can share it in the chat. So the first question is, what result do you want? What result do you want from your database in the next 90 days? What result do you want from your database in the next 90 days? And here's the thing. The answer of more business, more relationship is not specific enough to win, right? You need one too. So be specific. What do you want to do with your database specifically in the next 90 days? If you want more business, what kind of business? If it's, I want a listing from my database in the next 90 days, that is a specific thing. If you said, I'm gonna hunt amongst the people that I know for the next 90 days, and I'm not gonna stop until I get a listing, could you do it?
yes.
You're way more likely to do it if you're specific about it. Way more likely to do it if you're specific. If you say I want to get more business, this is a productivity hack, is general goals fail way more often. A small and specific goal is much more likely to lead to greater results. So if you say, I'm going to go find one listing, I bet you go find 3. Brock has a big database. Brock has a lot of past clients. I bet Brock says, you know what? I'm gonna put 5 check marks on the wall. I'm not gonna stop until I have 5 listings from my database in the next 90 days. If you do that every 90 days, you got real momentum. Okay, so write down your goal. What is your specific goal? What results specifically do you want from your database in the next 90 days? Brock has 15 sales from the database over the next 90 days. That's a specific target. I like that. Anybody else online, drop it in the chat. Show me that you're there. Drop it in the chat. What's your specific goal or specific win that you want to have coming out of your database in the next 90 days? By the way, crazy thing to think about. The next 90 days is September 25th, October 25th, November 25th. We're talking about what are you going to do before Thanksgiving? It's that close. It's that close. Before you know it, 4 months out is Christmas. Crazy. Okay. Who wants to? So Brock shared. Let me get 1 or 2 more shares in the chat there, and then let's hear. What do you have? What did you write down?
I want 4 contracts.
4 contracts to come out of your database in the next 90 days. Love it.
6.
6 contracts to come out. Tony.
I just had 4 listings, that was it.
Love it. So that's a great, so think about the difference between those. 4 contracts could mean all of it, right? 4 listings is like very specific. And imagine if you make that call now to your database, the difference in the language you're going to use. Hey, who do you know that needs to do any kind of business versus who do you know that's looking to have their house sold before the end of the year? See how
I put 4 contracts because I have people in my database that both are thinking of selling and thinking of buying.
Love it.
So they're just like, right, we don't know what to do.
Well, we're gonna
not ready.
have to do that. Today is gonna be a lot about that. So I love it. I saw somebody else that shared in the chat and it went away. Julie, I'm lost. Oh, there it is. Five contracts from database in the next 90 days. Nice. Love it. Part that. Brock, great stuff, dude. Okay. Let's one more person in the chat. Just show me that you're there. Show me that you did the work. That'd be awesome. Okay. So I want you to think about it this way, right? Database is like working your database is like gardening. Okay. Working your database is like gardening. Everybody that is any type of contact, and I'm going to define all these things in a second. Anybody that's like a contact is like a seed. It's a seed. When you're at the beginning of gardening and you're planting the seeds, how does that feel different than when you're harvesting the food later? Or seeing the beauty of whatever it is that you planted the flowers, if you're doing flowers. What's the difference?
I think when you're planting the seed, you have a lot of expectations,
Okay.
a lot of maybe anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Is it glamorous?
No,
What does planting seeds look like?
It's a lot of sweat and, it's a
Yeah.
lot of Effort. You need
Effort.
to take care of that.
Sweat, yep. It's usually you're doing that in the spring on those like first couple hot days,
Mhm.
right? It's dirty. You're like in the dirt with your seeds, right? Getting them like in the right spot. Then you have to make sure that the environment is good for them, that you protect them, that you water them, right? You're taking care of it. And then, right, once they grow a little bit, like those are your contacts. And I'm going to define all these. Then you move into like they start to sprout a little bit. What's that feeling like when you get little sprouts that are starting to pop up?
It's cool. I'll take care of more.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I got them now, right?
Nurturing, yeah.
Yeah, very nurturing, right? So we get those. Those are leads. So contacts are going to be the seeds. Leads are going to be the sprouts. The full-blown plant that you can go out. I like peppers, bell peppers. It's probably like the only plant I think I could really commit to working with, because they're pretty hardy, and I cook with peppers all the time. So like going out and seeing my pepper plant with little baby bell peppers on it feels amazing, right? And those plants that are bearing fruit, that are mature, right? That is when you've reached the status where your database is now ready to give back to you. Because what's inside the peppers? More seeds. What are seeds? Contacts. So database work is a lot like gardening. You start with the seeds. Those are your contacts. Those seeds then make it to become little sprouts, right? Those sprouts are leads. Those can turn into business. The business is the fruit, right? That's the full grown plant. But then when you hit that point, you collect the payday of that thing that you've grown, and inside of that is another opportunity for more contacts. If you think of your database like that, it makes it a lot easier to suck it up when you're in the dirt. Because way more time of the year is spent not having beautiful, full-grown, flowering plants than is, right? If you grow flowers in anywhere in, like, I like inherited them from my, whoever owned the house before, and they planted the things that grow up, that come up every year. Like I did no work to deserve these flowers, but every year, like I see the little sprouts come up like right around Easter time, right? Like right just before Easter. And then at Easter, there's always flowers. And then they're gone within a week, and then I'm back to nothing, right? It's a little bit greener, but I'm back to nothing again. So the thing is, you have to be willing to live for 350 days without a result to have those 15 days that are awesome with your gardening. So let's start to dive into what I just was described there. So the first thing is contacts. And when you think about your database, you probably have more contacts than you have leads, okay? Contacts are this. A contact is anybody that you have their contact information. You have to define what that looks like. What is a quality contact in your database? I would argue that in today's time, it's made up of three things: name, phone number, and email address. I think the fourth component is their physical address. Right? So name, phone number, email address, and then the fourth component of physical address. So if that's the definition of a contact, can that be somebody, and think about this, and I want you to look at this sheet here. Can that be somebody that you haven't met before? That you have a name, a phone number, an email address, and a physical address. Can you buy data, for example? Can you get an email from Zillow or Realtor.com that says, hey, I have a new lead for you, and they call it a lead, but is it a lead? Ooh, not yet. It's a contact, because all I have is a name, phone number, and an email address. Okay, so once we determine that, we don't get sucked into other language. Your database has to be like so clean. Otherwise, what happens is you create the massive mistake of doing the wrong work on the wrong people. A contact is simply contact information for another human being. So So define that, right? Contact is just contact information, name, phone number, email address, and maybe physical address. A lead is somebody who may do business with us. Now, here's the thing. You're going to drive yourself nuts if you're constantly waffling between, is this person a contact and is this person a lead? So in order to define what it means to be a lead, you have to define what does it mean for them to maybe do business with us. I like to think that that really requires a time-bound thing. So I think it's that they would be willing to do or ready to do business with us within the next 12 months. Okay. So if somebody might do business with me in the next 12 months, I'm going to treat them differently than the name, phone number, and email address I have of a contact. Uncle Bill, who I just call occasionally and see him at the summer picnic, is a contact until Uncle Bill at the picnic says, yeah, we're thinking about selling the house. Oh, okay. Like, you thinking of selling the house in the next 8 years? Or are you thinking of selling the house before this picnic next year? Well, we think maybe next spring might be the right time. Uncle Bill just got an upgrade. What did he do? He went from contact to what?
Lead.
To lead. Okay. And that's going to change the way that we're going to talk to Uncle Bill. Make sense? So contact is just contact information. Lead is somebody that we may do business with. Now, I think that there's that third stage. It's the fruit. It's the flower. And that is your VIP. These are your multipliers. And if you think of one thing to take away from this time together today, it is that this third group, these are people who are your my worksheet when I was moving stuff, it cut off the right side. So please forgive me. These are your people who are your advocate when you're not in the room. That's what that says. These are people who advocate for you when you're not in the room. Ryan's on here. He's up in his office. One thing that Ryan and I found, we had when we were really scaling, and our business at this point is exclusively referral based. It is like accidental for me. Ryan's doing a little bit more production than me, but it's like we found that we had key multiplier people when we were running at scale, doing 100+ deals at that point. And we had key people who were disproportionately responsible for more business than anybody else. Those are your VIPs. And if you don't recognize that pattern and do something different with that, you're going to lose your advocates. And when you have those people and you reward them, it continues to bear more fruit. So these are the people that have a lot of seeds waiting for you to bring into your database, because your database doesn't include their seeds until they hand them off. An advocate, a VIP, a great way to think about it is that every time they give you a referral, so you said referrals, right? Or who said referrals? I think it was, yeah. So somebody said they wanted more referrals. And it's like, well, a referral is somebody telling you that they're giving you a vote of confidence when you're not in the room. When you think like that, it changes the way you talk to those advocate VIP people. It's like, when was the last time you took that person who's given you more business than anybody else? When was the last time you took them out for coffee? Are you treating them like the same other contacts, or are you treating them like the person that is responsible for a disproportionate amount of your business? Okay, so what I'd like you to do, I've given you those 3 definitions, right? I've given you contacts, leads, and VIPs. The first thing I want you to do right now is I want you to write down 5 of each of those. Awareness is the first step towards different behavior. So at least once you start to think like this, you're going to be able to do something different with it. So I want you to write 5 contacts. These are people who you have their contact information, and you have maybe not a lot of relationship with them. You don't even know whether they would do business, when they would do business, like you don't know anything about what it would look like for them. So those are your contacts. The next 5, I want you to write down leads. So like Bob says, he has some people that are lurking out there that might do business in the next 12 months. I want you to write them down, write their names down. And then I want you to think about your VIPs. These are the people that if you had to call somebody today to get an amazing review and a referral, these are the first people you'd call. And we're gonna take about 5 minutes for you, maybe a little bit less, but I want you to really write down these 5 people in each of these buckets. Online, I want you to do the same exercise. These guys actually have the worksheet, so they're writing it down. Do not come to a class with me if you're not ready to like pull your pen out and do some work. So go ahead. Yep, I see you there, Edwin. I love it. Yep. So I want you to get those names written down. I think Beyonce is Dina, if I had to guess. I can tell that you're doing the work because you got your cell phone out and you're looking through your contacts.
I'm looking at the calendar.
No, there you go. Pull your cell phone out. Like actually pull it out. Look. All right, one more minute. One more minute. If you're online and you have a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book anywhere near you, now's a good time to grab it. We're gonna use the handout. It's one of the handouts that's there, or you can grab the book. It's from page 143. It's the lead generation database model. So if you have it, you can grab that, or like I said, it's in the chat. So as you guys are finishing up, and by the way, if you didn't finish it up, or all that it did was maybe make you aware that you have a gap, right? Let me hear, what was your takeaway as you wrote down those 15 names?
Right now, it gives me clarity, because I'm all over the place and, you know, I'm here to learn more.
Yeah. So it like puts it in front of your face.
I know my next action.
Okay. Well, we're gonna decide on actions. And by the way, in the next 30 minutes, somebody's gonna take action here today. Bob, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I got some people laid out here, and I think probably some of the people I have listed as VIPs may be more leads and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a number of contacts. I'm just going through putting some names down for contacts, but I know I have more.
Yeah.
You know, that or,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
some leads. You know, that actually put some down that I'm working with now, and they're some of the ones that are kind of like on the fence, you know, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know, And-
That's good. That's good. How about for you?
I got too much work.
Too much work to do.
It's unbelievable when you lay it out just like that. It's like, I'm not working these the way I should be, and every conversation is different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what we're going to talk about, right? So now that you have that clarity of who these people are and what their relationship actually looks like with you, now there's two things that matter the most with these people. You ready for it? It's super easy. It's cadence and content.
Mm.
Cadence and content. And we're going to spend some time talking about that. What does cadence mean?
repetition.
The speed or the
Yeah,
repetition,
yeah.
right? So this is like how often and how frequently are you in communication with them? What is the content then? It's what you actually say. It's the words that are part of the conversation. So if you talk to somebody that's a lead, like they're a VIP, and you're like smothering them, it's a total miss. If you talk to a VIP like they're just a lead, like they're a lead, they might do business in the next 12 months. By the way, they sent you 4 referrals. What's the cost there? You're not going to be doubling down on that relationship. You're not going to be treating it with the level of care and attention that you should, right? So now that you see it, you can't unsee it. So now we're going to talk about those things. So we're gonna spend some time here for the rest of screen lock up. So we're gonna spend some time here talking about what to do specifically with leads and VIPs. Okay, so leads, this is about making money in your database, right? I hope that's why you came, because we want to make some money in the database. So remember, leads are people we can do business with in the next 12 months. VIPs, this is the relationships that we need to be treating like gold in the database and making sure that if we're going to be in communication with them, we understand that these people are our advocates when we're not in the room. When you think of it like that, it changes the way you talk to them, right? Okay. So now I want you to pull that database sheet from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Now, I might sound like I know what I'm doing, but I am just sharing with you what smarter people have said before me. And this very complicated graphic is actually the map of what we're talking about right now. There are things about this I like. I think that this is part of what makes the Millionaire Real Estate Agent genius, but also really difficult to use. Because I look at this and I'm like, this is factually accurate, but very, very hard to work with. The exercise that we just did is the same thing as this. But let's talk about this. So at the top, we agreed at the beginning of the class that there's 2 buckets that everybody in the world falls into. They're either people we've already met or people we've never met before. If you go and door knock, what kind of group of people are you trying to talk to?
Have not met.
Haven't met, right? Exactly. We're like trying to start from square one. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, don't pull your gun on me. My name's Bob. What's your name? We haven't even gotten to contact yet. Okay. So we have the haven't mets over there. The haven't mets, now follow me down there. We target haven't met people based on geographic or demographics. Meaning, if we're going to door knock, what kind of list is that? Is that a geographic or demographic?
Geographic.
Geographic. If we want to go after expireds, is that a geographic or demographic? Demographic, right? It's they have something in common as people, not based on location, right? Okay, so once we understand that, right, everything that's in the haven't met column is going to kind of track that way. So those haven't met people, if we make contact with them, they end up dropping into our database. We end up working on those. And what Gary talks about in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book is the 12 direct, which is simply every single month, boom, 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 once a month, every month, they are getting a touch from us just to cultivate that. And maybe one day they'll become a half met. We don't care about that today. We care about the Mets today. So if we have them met, you see how all those arrows kind of come around the side and go back up to the top there? You guys see that? And there's like 3 arrows that point to 8x8 to build relationship. You guys see that? There's 3 arrows, 2 that come from the bottom and 1 that comes from the top that go to the 8x8 to build relationship. You guys see that bucket at the top of the Met on the upper left-hand side of the column? You guys see it? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So that is your regular touch to people that are in your database. 8x8 is a touch plan designed for people that you have made contact with. I'm going to read it to you real quickly. Everyone you know or meet goes into an 8x8 program. An 8x8 program is a systematic way of establishing a relationship. Simply put, once a week for 8 weeks, you make meaningful contact via a letter, a phone call, with an aim to establish yourself as the #1 real estate agent in their mind. Everybody got that? 8 touches over 8 weeks for people that are your new contacts. Now, once you've established that relationship, your database of people that are either leads or VIPs go into a 33 touch. Your 33 touch is simply 33 touches over the entire year. So give or take 2.5 touches a month. Seems like a lot, but if you think about it from the perspective of, like, you know, giving them any updates on the market, if you guys are doing market updates or newsletters or anything like that, all that kind of goes into that touch plan. And that's your opportunity to just kind of cycle yourself in front of those people. And that's really good for your general database, for your high quality contacts, people that you've met, your leads, people that you want to do business with, or your VIPs. Everybody's getting that same treatment. Now, here's where it gets different. Your VIPs need something else. My challenge to you is that anybody who's in your VIP group, at least every 60 days, if not every quarter, so somewhere between every 2 or 3 months, you need face-to-face time with your VIPs. Every 2 or 3 months, you need face-to-face time, which means that not only are you giving them a call every once in a while or checking in on them or something like that, but every 2 or 3 months, you're taking that special time. And think about that. If you look at your VIP list and you said, what would happen if every one of the VIPs on that list gave me 2 pieces of business every year? What would your business look like just from doing that? It would change everything, right? Is that worth taking them for coffee or just checking up with them on a Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock and just say, hey, what's going on in your life? Just wanted to check in. Right? That's critical. So now that changes the way the cadence of the VIPs goes way up for in-person and face-to-face conversations, right? Now let's talk about leads, because leads is where things go to die. Now, going back to the lead worksheet, we're going to leave this the lead database or the database map. We're going to leave that behind. We're going to go to leads. Okay. Every lead needs a home. Every lead needs a home. So here are the rules. Your database must be segmented based on the cadence that the customer's pace of doing business is. Okay. So what was the definition of a lead? Somebody who what?
Buy or sell in a year.
Somebody we may do business with in the next year. Great. Okay. So if they say they want to do business in the next, like, hey, not till 2029 when little Bobby graduates from high school. Is that a lead?
No.
No. Is it a contact?
Yeah.
Great. So what kind of communication do they get? The contacts, what kind of communication do they get? After we do the 8x8, we cemented ourselves. They get the what? They just get that regular touch,
Yeah.
right? Everything that's in your cadence. Now, again, this is simple, but not without work. You have to put the work in to build these touch campaigns. We're going to talk about that in a second. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide how we treat the leads, because leads are the closest to doing business. They're ready to do business within the next year. Contacts, we can work on that drip campaign. But leads, they're ready to do business. And you have people that are ready to do business in the next couple of months, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we need to talk to those people on the right cadence. So here's the trick. People have different names for their leads in their database. I don't really care what names you use. I picked 3, okay? One name that we will all agree never to use, Everybody put your hand up and say, I promise never to use the word, ready? I promise to never use the word cold.
Cold.
Okay. A word you never put into your CRM is the word cold. Because what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
They're dead.
Yeah. Right?
There's no flow.
There's no
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
Psychologically, if you want to make your CRM feel like it's like not really that exciting, put the word cold on a batch of leads and then tell yourself that, oh, hey, today's my day to work on the cold leads.
Jeez.
Ugh, blah, right? So on your sheet, I have 3 words. I picked them. You can do A, B, C, right? You can do whatever you want. I have seen A, B, C work really well, by the way. Okay, so I'm not attached to whatever. I called it hot, warm, nurture. I've seen hot, warm, nurture. I've seen a 4th bucket of called cryo, which is not cold. It sounds a lot like cold, but cryo is like people who we just want to who we may want to do business with over 3 years, but they're not necessarily a lead right now, and we're just working on them. It's like a 4th bucket of leads. But we're going to work on hot, warm, and nurture. Now, here's what I want you to do. You actually gave me Brock says we use hot 0 to 90, nurture 91 to 80, and watch 181 to 365, which is awesome because on the sheet I actually did hot is 0 to 30, warm is 30 to 90, and nurture is 90 and above. So you're seeing, right? Brock has definitions too. I'm good. I just want to give you something to work with. Okay. So like I like hot, but I would argue that the behavior difference for people that are 0 to 90 is like the person who's someone 0 to 30 versus someone who's 60 to 90. Those are different behavior profiles. And I think that the pace of somebody at 0 to 30 needs to be faster than the pace of somebody who's at 60 to 90. So it's all about your cadence. The temperature is all about your cadence. So here's what I would say. Again, I picked some arbitrary definitions for you. I like Brock's a lot. So this is not, I think you could use that just as much. Whatever your hottest one is, ask yourself, what is their decision making looking like right now? Are they shopping? Are they getting ready to shop? Are they thinking about shopping for a house? Are they still deciding whether they're even going to do it? Where are they in that thinking and behaving process? If somebody now here's a little, this is a tiny detail, but it matters a lot. It's not that they want to be at the closing table in 0 to 90. It's that they want to be completed with the decision. They want to have they need to be ready, willing, and able to take action and make an offer or list the house in that window of time. Not necessarily that they're done with the move. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. So if that's the case, if somebody wants to move in the next 0 to 30, which is the definition I gave you for hot, how often should you touch those people?
At least once a week, if not.
Every 3 days.
Yep.
Every 3 days. There it is. Brock just said 30-day window is different than 31 to 90. Ideally, we should have a scalding. Yeah. Exactly. So in their hot bucket, they're doing 1 call, 1 text, and 1 email every week. So they're doing 3 touches over 7 days. What does that equal? 1 touch every 3 days, give or take, right? So he's doing that in the hot. I would say that if your scalding probably is good for that. If somebody isn't ready to make a decision for 90 days, you're going to do 3 touches for 9 weeks. You're going to do 27 touches in 9 weeks with somebody who's 90 days out. That might actually overwhelm somebody who's not ready for 90 days. So that's why I think that differential between a 30-day person and a 90-day person is a slightly different profile. But I like it because there's no question that Brock's going to be front and center in front of that lead. And if someone comes to your open house and they say you qualify them and they become a lead and they're like, yep, we're shopping for an agent. We'd like to be making a decision on buying a house in the next 60 days. If you talk to them once every 15 days and Brock's talking to them once every 3 days, Brock probably wins their business. Right? So it just gives you some perspective on like what that cadence means in terms of the relationship with the leads. So for you guys, right? Again, remember, I already had you write those leads down and you were like, oh, that gives me a lot of clarity. Well, this is where that clarity goes even to the next level. It's like, well, now how often am I going to talk to them and what am I going to talk to them about? People that are in hot, we are talking about getting ready to do business. People that are hot, we are talking about getting ready to do business. We are talking about clear next steps. We're talking about the shopping process. We are moving them towards decisiveness. One death sentence for you for leads is allowing people to not make decisions. If they say that they want to move and then you don't talk to them about the decisions that they need to make to move, you're allowing them to fail. So if they say, I'd like to make a move in the next 30 to 60 days, what kind of decisions do they need to make?
Where are they moving to?
Where? Say what?
Oh, no, I just said, yeah.
Yeah. So where are they going to move? So we're like, hey, let's start to narrow it in on school district. What else?
What type of what's your price point?
What's budget?
Wait,
Not just
yeah.
budget, but also what do they need to get from somebody like Andrew upstairs?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, hey, their ideal budget versus what their loan gets approved for. Hey, totally get it. 30 days out. I don't want like zero pressure here, but what I would hate for you to do is hit that window of time when you're absolutely ready to hit the pavement and make an offer and be uneducated. That would be irresponsible for me. So let's go ahead and move this needle forward just a little bit, just so you and I are ready to go. And at that 30-day window, when it's time to go shopping for a house, when little Bobby goes back to school, we're good to go. Plus, I would hate to put you on a drip campaign and show you houses you can't afford. That's me doing a bad job. Unacceptable. But we do it all the time because we don't force decision making. We don't take them to the decisive point. And then we're like, oh, hey, I can put you on a drip campaign, but we don't quite have that clarity. And next thing you know, we're showing them homes that are 50 grand over their budget. And now we've shown them champagne and all they can afford is beer. Right? We do it. But that's what's happening in that hot, warm, and nurture is like hot is every 3 days. It is every 3 days. It is 2 to 3 touches a week. If it is warm, meaning they're going to do business in the next, give or take 90 days, but they're not in Brock. I love scalding, right? They're not quite scalding hot, but it's like, hey, we know that they're going to be making a move and we've got that clarity, but we just need to talk to them on the right pace. That's once a week. Once a week at that 90-day window. And then you know, Brock takes his watch is at the 180 to 365. So he's at like, give or take 6 months out. At 6 months out, he's talking to them. Those people, if they're in that, and in this one I have nurture, which is 90 days and out. I think you could stretch that even to 120 or 180 days and beyond. Those people, give or take, once every 3 weeks. There's no magic answer here. It's not perfect, but it's like, well, how much work are you willing to do? And what do you want your business to look like? What do you want your schedule to look like, by the way? Because now you can start to see that, and Tony said this, he's like, oh man, there's a lot of work, because there is a lot of work. This is planting season. This is before the harvest. And the reality is that time is dirty. You're wearing gloves. You've got to be on the phone. You have to be working the database. So if you came to a database class and thought it was going to be the easy button, this is actually the hard button. This is when you need to do that hard work. Okay. So you put some leads at the top of your 5 names, and I gave you that worksheet. I want you to label people put into leads, whether they're hot, warm, or nurture. So I would like you to take a couple of the names that you thought of and put them into the right buckets, hot, warm, or nurture. I'll give you 2 minutes. One more minute. Just getting some clarity. What stage are these people in? All right, guys. So you see on the worksheet there, below that, I have two different sections. I have section number 1, which is to map out your next trip. And then the last one is a section for commitment. I always like to force force you to think of commitment. I think we often let ourselves off the hook too easy with lack of commitment. I think a class without something that you do that you're going to do from it is really just entertainment. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to give you something really easy. You're not going to have a choice on what your next action is going to be, because we're all going to call somebody from our VIP list right now and invite them to meet in the next 7 days. So I'd like you to pick the phone up, and this is where it gets to like the campaign of scripting your next touch. So before we actually call these people, I want you to give just a first name, and Tony, same for you. Just give a first name, and what's the script you're going to use, and think about it. So you avoid that fear, that reluctance to pick the phone up. And by the way, everybody online, challenge to you guys is pick the phone up and call one person who you would consider to be a VIP. I actually have somebody I need to call today.
Okay.
So I know who I'm going to call. I know what I'm going to ask for. You got it?
Yeah.
What's the name?
Tanya.
Tanya. What are you going to ask for?
Hi, Tanya. This is Bob. Just calling. Haven't talked to you for a while since Jasmine bought her house. Like to sit down with you and your daughter Izzy, talk about when she wants to get her house ready for listing.
Look at that. Very specific. Love it. You might get a listing today.
Yeah.
I love that. Tony, who are you calling and what for?
I'm calling Dave to see if I can meet up with him and his Jackie, his friend, for dinner tonight.
Love it. Love it. Anybody online? Anybody going to make a call that's going to change their business right now? Who's the VIP you're going to call? What's their first name? And what are you going to ask for? Edvin. He's going to.
Yeah, I called my one of my leads. His name is Albert, and I asked because he's willing to sell his house right now and buy a smaller house. So I texted him and I asked him if he's still in the market because I haven't talked to him for a while. So I asked him if he's still interested in doing that business. So I'm waiting for him.
Awesome.
Once.
So your goal, Edvin, is not just to say, hey, are you interested in doing that business? I want to challenge you. Your goal is to meet with them. Meet with them. Okay. Let's everybody make our calls. I'm going to go make mine. I'm going to mute the room real quick. Everybody make a call.
It's raining.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
We just.
When,
had a-
yeah, have her, or you can send me her contact information out. I can reach out to her and we can set up a time. Yeah. Good deal. Alrighty. Oh, okay, okay.
We have some good calls
Are you-
going on here.
Are you gonna buy one? Or are you gonna rent? Okay, I have a spare if you wanna borrow it. Yeah, yeah, let me know. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Anybody online?
okay.
Anybody online got one? Well, Bob's got his going right now.
Yeah, yeah, well, that would be getting a little bit more involved, but yeah, let me know. All right, so yeah, we'll have her, send me her contact info and we'll get something set up. Maybe like, next week. Good deal. Thank you. Okay, okay. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You just get a listing?
She's sending me her daughter's contact number so I can set her up, set a time up next week.
I love that. I freaking love that. That's awesome. Okay. 10:58. We squeezed every drop out of this last hour, right? So we talked about what it means, the difference between have mets and haven't mets. We broke down leads or contacts versus leads versus those VIPs and understanding what that looks like. We talked about once we get them into a lead bucket, meaning that we might do business with them, then it turns into a cadence of hot, warm, or nurture, never the word cold, right? And making sure that we're communicating with those people on the right pace. Sometimes it's just as simple as the reminder, right? So a CRM, you guys all have access to Command. You can use others. There's Follow Up Boss, there's Salesforce, whatever, however big you go or however small you go. Those are just designed to be reminders. It's just the computer telling you, this is who to call today, right? That's all it is. It's designed to be the automatic reminder so you can take the thinking out of it, the guessing out of it. So my challenge to you guys is to go and take action from this, move people into buckets, do it whether you're doing it in, I don't care. I literally, if you use Google Sheets and that works for you based on the size of your business, I'm totally good with that. Like I don't care. I just want you to do the work and make sure that you're talking to your database, talking to your people at the right pace that you're putting yourself in front of them at the time that they need you to be there to do the business. Okay. Let's get one or two takeaways, and then we're gonna wrap up. Who has a good takeaway for me?
Slow down so you can speed up.
Slow down so you can speed up. That's a good one.
Just slowed everything down.
That's
So now I
good.
can take off.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's get one or two more. Anybody online wants to share, you can drop it in the chat. I won't even make you come on I won't even make you come on camera if you don't want to.
Yeah,
But-
just breaking them down into the different leads, VIPs, makes me realize, okay, there's some people that I've been treating differently than I should have. Then just kind of need to change it. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Again, the clarity and what am I doing today?
Yeah.
It's more.
It seems so simple. What am I doing today? Like, if every single day you just woke up and said, what am I doing today that's like advancing a relationship that I have or moving me closer to the right spot to do business with somebody? And honestly, that feels better for your customers too. Like if you have a VIP, somebody who is, is a multiplier, somebody who's your advocate, and you're not talking to them every quarter face to face, do you think that they feel a little, right? So it feels better for everybody because you're treating the relationships the way that they should be treated. And oftentimes it's not with any bad intention. We're not thinking, what am I doing today? And when we don't think about that, sometimes things slip, right? Cool. All right, that's it for me for the day. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
good stuff. Thank you. Have a good one. Everybody online, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, she just sent it.
You already got it.
Just
You
got it.
Getting your listing.
You got a deal.
Yeah, can we do this every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.